Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you had a peaceful and a wonderful festive season so far. But let's get down to business. For all of those who have subscribed and share our videos, thank you very, very much for your patronage. And I believe this channel will grow bigger and bigger by day. And it's in your hands. If you find the message to be good, please share it among your friends and family, and let's get the word out there. Today's video is going to be a little bit of controversial, and I want to speak about things that I have picked up in the last 2 weeks that is a serious concern. Things that is red lights are flashing. I'm not speaking about the happenings and the doings at Gold One Mine on the East Rand. Apart from that, social media is currently buzzing. There was a man called Ngizwe Nkunu that made or had a speech where he basically verbally attacked the Shangaan and the Xhosa tribe. And there's a lot of people that are not happy about this. Apart from that, in Rustenburg, or informal settlement area just above Rustenburg, on the 16th, a tragedy happened. There were, believably, as far as I could understand, 8 Xhosas that was executed, apparently by people from the Tswana tribe. And then we've got this big controversial thing still going on in KwaZulu-Natal with the appointment with the king. And for us as South Africans, this should raise a lot of red lights of what's going on. All of a sudden, there is a lot of tribal tension happening. The last time we had this vicious tribal tensions or political tensions was back in KwaZulu-Natal with the riots there, and I think we can all remember those bloody days. Where's this going to end? And the question I ask myself is, why? Why is all of this happening all of a sudden? And I thought it through, and I've spoken to a few guys, and maybe some of these points that I'm going to raise or ideas might show some light why all of a sudden these conflicts are popping up all over the show. Apart from the political field, where we've got a new political party with the previous President Zuma. This is going to be a very interesting present to unpack and see how this will influence, especially the coming elections next year. And there's rumors that there might not even be an election next year. And I tend to believe that. And one must look at this from a global perspective. What is South Africa worth to the rest of the world? And let's make it clear. It is, once again, not what's on it, it's what's in it. We, the citizens, we are not worth much to them. But our minerals and our resources is what it's all about. Everybody is very keen, whether it's east or west, to put their hands on these assets. And especially in the last few months with the discovery of 2 massive oil fields one up in the Northern Cape area with the border with Namibia, and one on the south coast close to Mossel Bay. One can understand, if you understand international politics, that all of a sudden a lot of countries are interested in South Africa. Apart from all the minerals that's in the ground, all the gold and all the iron and copper, yeah, there's other countries that's got gold and iron and copper as well. But do they have it in abundance like we do? Our coal fields and our oil fields. I believe we are being sold out. We are being auctioned off. It is my belief, and the reason why I believe we've got this influx, and there will be a bigger influx of tribal conflict, is powers outside South Africa will be very eager to send in their military might and troops in the name of humanity and to stabilize South Africa. This is what I believe. But they don't come for free. They come with their hidden agendas. And those hidden agendas, as I said before, it's what's in the ground, not on it. With these rich oil fields and all the minerals that's there. But there's a third point that is vital. And I don't think a lot of people see this. There's currently problems in the Panama Channel. And there's rumors that the Panama Channel will become more and more difficult to navigate and to operate in future. There's problems there. Apart from there, there's also the big threat around the Suez Channel, and something that makes sense to me and to other few people is Israel is planning to dig its own channel. And guess what is in the way of that channel? It's a little place called Gaza. It's just 2 and 2. It's just basic maths. I'm not going to make any further comments on that, but you do the maths. So the world is in turmoil, and what South Africa's got is this great asset called the Cape of Good Hope, the regional sea route. It was there way before the Suez and the Panama Channel, and all the cargo and all the trade came around South Africa, and that is one of the main reasons why back in 1652 Jan van Riebeeck came to the Cape after Vasco da Gama found the Cape of Good Hope, or actually Mossel Bay. This was a trade route, and that's the reason for the castle to be built and the gardens and where South Africa is today, back in the old VOC days. So, once again, this vital sea route comes to play. Unfortunately, the powers to be in South Africa has once again misplayed their hands, and many years ago South Africa were blessed with a company called SAF Marine, and SAF Marine was a company that was renowned worldwide for good service, and especially all these cargo ships that comes around the Cape of Good Hope, if they need service or repairs, they were the boys to go to. But once again, like all other SOEs, it has fallen apart, which is a great concern. There's already two huge international freight liners that has indicated that because of the tension going on in the Middle East, that they are going to opt to come around the Cape of Good Hope again. So will there be an influx in trade? Absolutely. Now if you put all of this together like a trifle pudding, you've got oil, you've got minerals, you've got harbours, you've got a sea route. That's going to make an interesting bake. And for those who can manage this correctly, it can be very, very lucrative. And this is my belief that we are being sold out bit by bit. And the way they're going to do it is to create tensions among the tribes. And once tension is there, and it flows over into conflict, that you will not believe how fast troops will be deployed. And I'm going to pin two countries. One of them is going to be Great Britain, and the other one is going to be the United States. Because Great Britain has already got forces in Lesotho, and the United States has got a base in Botswana. So they will eagerly jump to come and help. But is it help we want? I don't think so. And this is something for you to ponder about. It is a serious concern, and we need to take, and this is why it's very important that the tribals come together around the table, and we need to sort this ASAP before things get totally out of control. As I said in my previous programs, the politicians has got way too much power, and it is time for that power shift. Absolute, the time is there. It is, I can't think of a better time than now. But we have to be wide awake going into 2024, and I believe by the grace of God and people that will be more open-minded and understand what things are all about. We need to take our emotions out of this. We need to put the facts on the table and look what's going on. And it is not going to be nice. We can see that the politicians, in the way they speak, what they're saying is the much more aggressive underlines coming through. And they will sell us out. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I'm speaking to you that 80% of Christians in South Africa, we need to return to our Creator and ask Him for advice and help to get us out of this situation. Now, I don't know, for those of you who watched the previous Sona, the opening of it, where they said no, that they will give people time to pray, and it turned out to be a laughing ordeal. I think God has left the Parliament a long time ago, and it is serious concerns. Right, there's a few pointers that I want to raise. This is just bubbles in the air. It is not anything that is cast in stone, but I want you to think about it for the future of this country, and what we need to do to tackle or to make sure that we don't run into problems like this again. One is our country's status. And if you look at the country Switzerland, they have got a neutral status. I believe for South Africa, on this very busy sea route and being the gateway to Africa, we need to take that status. We need to make it our own. We cannot afford to align ourselves just to BRICS or just to Nato. We need to be neutral. The last thing we want is these two parties to make this an area of conflict. And we must play our cards very, very carefully with these two, because there's a lot of gain, but there's also a lot of negativity connected to both of these sides. So no BRICS, no NATO. We are absolutely neutral, because as we stand now, if things should deteriorate further with Russia and China and the NATO countries, we are aligned with BRICS. So the chance that our young folk will be commandeered to go and partake in a war in the north, which we have no interest in, is very good. And that is because of political alignments. So we should remove ourselves from both of those two sides. Another point is all foreign militaries that's got a foothold or offices in South Africa must go. South Africa don't have any military foothold or offices in their countries. So why must they have a military representation or office in our country? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if we don't have a foothold there, you don't have a foothold here. Simple as that. So thank you, remove yourself, goodbye. End of the story. We should really look at our foreign policy and should stop bending over backwards. It's not going to fly. We need to look at our coastline. We are desperately in need of a proper navy. And we need to defend our 150 kilometer area around our coast. Not only for oil exploration, but also for our fisheries. Because if we don't have a navy, we can't defend it. And I believe that there is a lot of poaching and illegal fisheries going on within our coastline, and it is a clear and present threat to the safety and security of South Africa. We really need to look and enforce that 150 kilometer area on our coastline. We have to effectively defend that. Not that we are in war with anyone, prevention is better than cure. So that is vitally important, because all those oil fields and falls within those boundaries, and we need to protect it. And that comes to another point, that all these foreign oil explorations, currently I know Total, it's a French company, is exploring the oil Northern Cape. It's time for them to go, because they are going to write deals with the wrong people. They're going to write deals with politicians that's already counting the money in their bank accounts, and it's going to left us just between somewhere and nowhere. There was a program now recently of people that went on a safari in Angola, where they paid between 3 and 6 rand for a litre of fuel. South Africa, we pay 23 rand. So that is the price for corrupt leaders. Just think about that, how that influences our economy. We need to take a hard stance when it comes to our border control. Whether they come over the land borders or via aeroplane, things really need to be jacked up. And there's a lot of influx of foreigners. I'm not here to spread xenophobia attacks, but we've got all these Pakistanis and Indians and Somalians, and the list carries on, coming to South Africa. What investments does South Africa have in those countries? And the answer is a resounding zero. So we really need to take a hard stance on this. and we need to close our borders to this. And is there a threat in this? Absolutely, there is a threat. Once again, foreigners are looking at South Africa as a pot of honey to be stolen. All the wealth and all the minerals, whoever can control South Africa, well, they've just recovered, or they just won a golden nugget. So we have to look at this in depth, and I believe it's time for some of them to go. We just have to look at what's happening in Europe, in the UK, in France, Denmark, Belgium, all over the show. The conflict that is carrying on there, and those who's coming to South Africa, when will that start? Yeah. And that is not the type of problem we want to deal with in South Africa. So the best way to prevent this is just to tell them, turn around, bye-bye, go back home. As simple as that. And the last thing is, if foreigners come into the country, apart from compulsory being documented, there was also have visas. If you and I were to travel to the States today, we need to climb and crawl through how many loops, be interrogated, must have this documents and that documents, and yeah, treated like garbage. But when they come here, they just dance like Frank Sinatra through our border control. No. We will do to you what you do to us. What applies to your country will apply to our country. Just think about it. It is time for the government to take control of our borders. Not just, it is not about xenophobia, it's about protecting the integrity and the people of South Africa. And I hope that things will de-escalate when it comes to our tribes. And the only people that can solve this, once again, is the tribal senate. The politicians has been sold out. They've got their agendas. They've got their little secret meetings and arrangements and all those lovely stuff that they are all known globally how these oaks operate. So before the country is sold in total, tribals, it's time to take back South Africa. We need to take it away from these politicians. So I hope that I do not stir too many emotions around this, but a fact is fact. And please, once again, I urge you to share this video, to like this video. For those of you who have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, and remember to click on your bell icon for notifications when the next program is coming out. And there's a lot of stuff we have to talk about. This is just something that was bothering me, and I want you to just ponder about what I've said. Have a great day.